10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, and welcome to Dax Chats. In this episode, I'm getting to speak to somebody who's just brought out his brand new album. This is his third album, I believe, and he is from Goulburn in New South Wales, but he spends his time between Australia and the heartland of the deep south of the USA. I'm talking about none other than Roo Arcus, and today, Dax Chats to Roo Arcus. How are you, buddy?
Hey. Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. So, look, you've had a career that's been going on since before 2016, but you were a CMAA award finalist for Male Artist of the Year back in 2016. Tell us about the Roo Arcus journey.
What, since then or from the beginning?
Yeah, from the beginning. Let us know.
From the beginning. Well, you know, this year is 25 years in the business. Can you believe 25 years? So 2020, it's been a bit of a rough one, of course, but it's you know, it's been quite a benchmark for me this year and to release this album this year. But really, you know, the music industry is something that I tripped and fell into, had no intentions of being in it. And it started 25 years ago. I was sitting on the floor at an after party after being at the Bushranger Hotel in Collector, which is near home. And, you know, we just all sat on the ground taking turns, singing a song. I was the last person in the round, and they got to me and said, "Righty-o, Roo, you got to sing us a song." I'm like, "I can't sing a song. I can't sing." I was like, "Come on, we've all done it. So it's your turn." So I thought, heck, what am I going to sing? I could remember the chorus to the Randy Travis song, "Forever and Ever, Amen." There was a couple of musos there just went, "Hang on, thought you said you couldn't sing. You've never sung before." You know, for a fella who can't sing, that was pretty good. And so, mate, that was the beginnings. And I just, you know, I went back working up West Queensland on a cattle station, started writing a few songs, playing a bit more, came back from up there, joined these guys, their duo called Mustang Billies, and off I went with them and you know, gave up working on the big cattle stations, still working at home on the farm. And, mate, it just kept rolling on. I did it for years and just thinking, well, what am I going to do with, you know, what's my next step in my career? Thinking it wasn't going to be music, but it was always music. Ended up at the Country Music College, the very first one in Tamworth, which led to touring with Slim, which led to releasing my first EP and, you know, my first album not long after that. Mate, it just kept rolling on. It just kept rolling on and rolling on. And I say 25 years later, I'm here and still doing it.
25 years later, and this new album is absolutely phenomenal. I've sat down, I've listened to it track by track. It is just wonderful. The album is called Tumbleweed. The first single off the album was, of course, the title track, Tumbleweed, and that was just awesome. And the new track's called Love and Right. Talk us through the album and why you went with the traditional country lines.
Yeah, mate, I suppose it's easy to do what's popular. And, you know, I still think that traditional country music is popular with a lot of folks. It's what I listen to. And I just, you know, I've just always stuck to my roots. That's what I love. So I always do what I love. My whole life I've been going against the grain. So why stop now?
That's right.
You know, I just love it. I mean, you know, to think back many years ago, to take on someone's advice, you know, I toured with Slim for, you know, a good year or so. And he always said to me, "Look, Roo, no matter what you do with your career or what you do in the future, you always have to be, you know, true to yourself." So I always remember that, you know, very simple advice, but that's what I stick to. I mean, that's what I love. That's what I'm going to keep doing. Yeah, I just love that traditional sound. I try to keep it modern. Like I try to bring out a traditional album that's going to sound 2020. And I think I've done that.
You certainly have.
Yeah. So yeah, mate, people are loving it. It's only been out for a week or so. People are loving it. I'm getting some beautiful messages from people and thanking me for playing traditional country music.
Absolutely, and I say the same thing because, man, it is so refreshing to hear that type of stuff in a world that's, so in a box of this is what country is these days. And, Nashville's throwing out these pop country songs left, right and center every 30 seconds. To hear something as refreshing as the Tumbleweed album is just brilliant.
Thanks, mate. I kind of feel like I've done a bit of justice because, George Strait and Alan Jackson a number of years ago brought out a song called Murder on Music Row when basically traditional music died on Music Row. Well, this album was made on Music Row.
It was.
A dead set traditional album made on Music Row. So, a bit of justice there.
So a couple of things that I mentioned before we came on screen was that you sort of brought back flavors of those traditional country singers like early Garth Brooks, which it's beautiful. All the way back to George Jones. I heard sounds of George Jones in the album. And you brought back a country waltz. I mean, hey. yeah,
a waltz. That's something strange, isn't it? Yeah. They're going to love that on a dance floor though, they'll be two-stepping to that one for sure. Yeah,
I was loving it. But you've sort of done the whole lot. You've done the waltz, you've done the two-step, you've done it all. It's all in the album. Everything that we can think of back, from the 80s and before. It's all there, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and we haven't intentionally done that. All we wanted to do was just make a great album with songs which I love. That's how the albums come together. No other reason that the songs are chosen because I love them.
Yep.
No other reason. I love them, and I hope you're going to love them. No, that's the only process.
Well, you've got a fan here, that's for sure. We absolutely do love them. I've actually listened to the album a couple of times, and I'm very, very impressed. You've done a great job. Now, the new single's called Love and Right. Talk us through the song.
Yeah, so Love and Right, I had access to so many amazing songwriters, and Jim Beaver was one of them. Formerly from Texas, I believe, and been in Nashville many years. I mean, if you looked up Jim Beaver, you'd be amazed how many songs that you'd have credits on that you would know. And yeah, I was very lucky for that one to come my way. I thought it kind of reminded me of a 90s country hit in some ways. Like, it still sounded very, very fresh, but it sounded to me, and I love that period of music, that 90s. And I thought, just what a great song. It's really great for today because it's a very positive song. It's about things going right. In 2020, we want to hear about things going right. And this is just about love going right. It's, everything's going well. It's a great bouncy sort of tune. It's going to be a great live song to do, add to our set list.
When you can get there.
When we can get back out. Yeah, mate. Yeah. Well, hopefully that's not too far away now.
So how have you been going through this whole pandemic? I mean, this is something that, the world hasn't seen for over 100 years. And it's really put the music industry on its ass, should I say.
It did.
In a big way. How have you managed to go through this pandemic?
Yeah, well, we were, when it came along, we were already at I don't want to say the back end, but we were still in drought. We'd been in years of drought, so I'm a cattle producer from around Goulburn.
Yep.
And so we'd been toughing it out for a good while already. And to be honest, we kind of shrugged it and went, all right, here's just another thing we're going to have to wear for a little bit longer, another few months or 6 months. But honestly, it has lasted longer. Not lessening it, because it really did affect us. I had, I've got my Arcus Adventure tours that I take to America. They were, I had 3 out of the 4 of those tours sold out.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously all those were cancelled. All music stopped. And the farm's still, it's still recovering. So triple whammy for us. So very, very hard. Yeah, took it very hard. And but like I say, we're kind of used to toughing it out. So
True. I mean, Australians are very used to toughing it out, especially in rural areas. I had an interesting thing that, and this is about the industry, the music industry. Yep. I had an interesting thing said to me yesterday from a gentleman in Canada that I was interviewing, and he said, and you would have been through the whole same thing. The process of music has changed throughout the years. You know, we had, you know, obviously you're, you know, 25 years back, so you can still remember vinyl, even though it's coming back now. But you can remember the original vinyl going, and then cassettes, and then CDs, and then CDs started dying out, and we went to downloads with iTunes, and then we went on to streaming platforms, and suddenly even though music's more popular across the world because of streaming, the value of music has gone down, and then the pandemic hit and the live shows stopped, and this guy said it was just the next step in the evolution of music.
Yeah, or you know, and it's true, and it just keeps getting harder and harder. You know, it just, the more they digitize this, the harder and harder it is for us. You know, the more it's accessible to people, the more they get used to sitting at home and watching live streams. You know, I know everybody's going to be busting to get out and watch a concert and go out and actually socialize again, but you know, we're getting used to being, you know, sitting in our lounge room and listening to music and watching music and going, oh, that's streamed, I don't need to go anywhere, you know, I can access it really easily. So, you know, it's like the artists that used to make themselves too accessible to everybody. You know, no one really wanted to come and see them if they were accessible 100% of the time, which we are 100% of the time accessible these days.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know, and we're expected to be. We're expected to be on social media and everything every 5 seconds and posting something and saying hey and doing something.
Correct.
You know, once upon a time, you'd go and see an artist if they were in town. You know, come and see their concert and buy their album.
Yep. So, I mean, that brings me to another point in this whole live stream situation. Even that is changing now. And there's a couple of problems that I have with the whole thing. Yes, the pandemic hit, so everybody took to live stream, which just filled up the live space so much to a point where it was oversaturated. You know, every performer is doing something live here, there, and everywhere. It was a bit crazy. But the problem was that it wasn't really thought about how we can do this. We just ran out and, you know, we got onto Zoom, or we got onto, you know, StreamYard or Restream, or however we did it, and we just went live on Facebook, live on YouTube, whatever. But we didn't actually ask people to pay for it. So we were just throwing out our content for free.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know people have been making their PayPal tip jars and that kind of stuff, and I know that's been working for some artists. I'm not really savvy with it all, and obviously, you know, you haven't seen me do a live stream yet of a concert or anything. Man, not because I don't want to. I'm a very busy man. You know, I know a lot of people are stuck at home with not much to do. I'm stuck at home on 500 acres with 2 teenage kids. And, you know, I look after my father with dementia as well. And, you know, life is very, very busy. I'm always flat out being broke. You know, very good at staying busy and making no money.
Absolutely. Well, that's me too. I mean, I'm forever busy, even though I'm in a studio. I mean, I'm in my home studio, running a radio station, trying to write music as well at the same time, and making no money from it. So yeah, I know.
Mate, we do it because we love it. You know, I'm in farming. You know, I raise cattle. You know, I love it. And music because I love it. Neither of them make really any money at all. Or if you do, it just goes straight back in. But you know, we just do it because we love it. They say it's not about the money. A little bit of mullah would be nice every now and then.
So 2020, so 2021 is what everybody's looking towards now. However, you know, what we're seeing across the world is, you know, massive second waves of this thing coming through as well. So I don't think America has actually stopped the wave. They're just, I don't know what happened with them, but the UK is, you know, coming on with a second wave. Canada's coming on with a second wave. Brazil's coming on with a second wave. So even though Melbourne's sort of had what they think is their second wave, I don't think it's over for Australia just yet.
No.
How do you see 2021 shaping up for Roo Arcus?
Well, you know, it's that's a difficult question. And I actually had that conversation with someone just a minute ago. You know, what they were asking me, what are my plans for the next, you know, say 9 months or so. And I couldn't answer it. I mean, obviously I want to start getting out and doing shows. I'm not someone that does a million shows a year anyway, as people would know. Not that I don't want to, but I don't do a lot of shows. Obviously, the Arcus Adventure Tour stuff, what I've been thinking of is, you know, if we can't get back to the States, and I've obviously been doing a lot of work in the US for the last 5 or 6 years. And that's been a fair bit of my focus, and that's partly because it's just a way of putting beans on the table. It's not that I don't want to tour Australia and that kind of stuff, and I still do. But maybe, and I haven't said this to anyone yet, but maybe doing some Arcus Adventure stuff in Australia and creating some experiences here and doing some exclusive concerts through my Arcus Adventures platform. You know, maybe doing something like that here.
That'd be nice.
Or if we can start traveling, you know, if it opens up to New Zealand, or, you know, maybe we could do something there. But I'm going to find a way to survive, mate, because I always do. You know, I'm very innovative, and I'm going to find a way to perform and to connect with people and, you know, just keep loving what I'm doing and find a way to survive in it and keep making music.
Well, you are loving what you're doing, and you are loving it right. See what I did there?
No. Yeah, I do, mate. I love it. But I'm a very passionate person about things that I do. Very passionate about.
That'd be awesome. You know, doing something like up in the Northern Territory, up in Catherine, or, you know, Ayers Rock, or, you know, doing those Arcus Adventures. That'd be nice. That'd be really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kakadu and the rainforests in Queensland. Oh yeah, that'd be great. I think
so many great places. So I think I can create those unique experiences here in Australia as well. So keep an eye out, folks, for the Arcus Adventure stuff happening in Australia. Obviously, as soon as we can get back to the US, we will be. And I've got all the sold out tours from this year that, you know, are hanging on and going, I hope we can do this all next year again. So I hope so too. But for now, new music. Is it perfect timing for a new album? I don't know. But look, that was the question. What are we going to do? Are we going to release this new album? I'm like, absolutely. I've been sitting on this for so long. It's no good to anybody being a file on a computer. So let's put it out there for people to enjoy. Is it perfect time? Don't know. Don't care. Let's just do it.
That's good. I mean, and it's been a struggle for many artists to figure out, you know, whether they do or they don't in this situation. And I always say to people that have released music, thank you for releasing the music, because I believe that, you know, music is an essential service to life. So thank you for releasing the album.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Thank you. No, it is. It changes. We all turn to music, don't we? We're feeling happy. We're feeling sad. We're feeling down. Right. We need a pick me up. Our first go to is music. Take music out of the world and be a very strange world.
So I guess, you know, you said you've been sitting on this album for a fair while. So I guess you've got new material already lined up for your next project.
Yes. Well, I didn't really get a chance because I was so busy with things that were happening in my life leading up to making this album, which was about 2 years ago, believe it or not. We went to the studio to make this album. So that was another reason I had to put it out. So long I've been sitting on this project. But yes, so I have a bazillion song ideas that I just need to find the time to get to. I'm already thinking about the next album, or I have been for some time.
Yep.
And, sure and how it's going to play out. So yeah, I'm not stopping now. You know, there's no quit in me. So expect to hear, you know, we'll push this album for a good while yet, but know that I have something else.
A couple new singles, go through 2021, see how we can pick it up, and then by 2022 we should be seeing something new from Roo Arcus.
I would expect so, mate. Yeah, 2022 for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's been fantastic talking to you today. Thank you very much for your time. I know you're a busy man. Go back and get back to the cattle farm.
Oh no, but I'm stuck behind a music shop in Canberra. I've called in to see a mate here at Songland, and I went, heck, I've got an interview to do right now. And he's like, quick, just jump into the storeroom. So that's why I'm not sitting in the, out in the fields, guys, with my cattle. You're wondering where the heck is Roo Arcus? Well, I'm just in a little storeroom here with my mate, the skeleton here. There he is.
With your mate. Yeah. And you got Kerry Underwood with you on the other side.
Kerry Underwood's down there, but it's, skeleton crew here. Yeah, but Kerry Underwood. And let's just take a little walk out here. There she is. She's half covered up with something, but there's Kerry. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's been fantastic talking to you. I wish you all the success with Tumbleweed and whatever's coming for Roo.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate your time very much so. Great talking to you.
No worries. That is Roo Arcus, and his brand new album is, of course, on all streaming platforms. It's called Tumbleweed. You can download it from iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, all that type of stuff. And the first single was called Tumbleweed, and the second single is called Love and Right, and that is also playing on the Country Thunder Network. You can go right there, countrythunder.com.au, and you can request it straight from the player. And what's more, you can vote for it in the Country Thunder 20. The form is at the top of the page. Until next time, you've been watching Dax Chats. I'm DJ Dax, and we're proudly supported by Neon Horse in Stanhope, Victoria. Bye for now.